So if y'all bitches want to step to the best, you're looking at them, boys.
Oh God. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. I'm going to be your heavily tattooed vato of a host, the Cholo. Before we get into any videos, there's a whole spiel. You guys already know what it is, yada, yada, yada. Got to do shameless self-plug. I know. That way I can say, hey guys, don't forget to get loked up with our channel memberships. I know, dude. I know it's dumb. Anyways, today we're going to be getting into our 135th episode of The Goblin at Lloyd Street. Of course, it was brought to us today by N Word Boi. Make sure you stop off at his channel, give him a like and subscribe, show him a little bit of love, and let's get on into it. Today's video, it's a bit of a longer one. We may end up having to cut this one into a two-part episode. I don't know just yet. We'll see how the time goes. But this video is Cyraxx live on YouTube. Sioux City Story. This is from May 30th, 2025, so just 2 days ago. Let's get it. Here we go. Of course, we're going to do it at 125. We always do it. Let's run this bitch.
It is for Blame Katie, who's last year I've been on lately. So shout out to you, Katie. But you had a very good question that I want to dive into because not a lot of people understand what really happened with that whole situation of me and my ex Kira. So allow me to explain, because I actually like this one because it definitely gives an insight on how I am as a person, and you kind of get to see who I am as a person. Now,
I hate hearing him drink.
What really happened, like, let me start from the very beginning here, and then I'll work my way through, and then I will be detouring a little bit, just so you can understand in full a lot better.
A lot more
how
gooder.
I am as a person. Because there are a couple things where I am going to veer off and explain certain things and whatnot.
I'm sure you will.
But to start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning.
So me and Kira came up in high school together. Alright, we had known each other for like 13 plus years. We had been, dating on and off.
Was she in high school for 8 years too? Or was she in high school the last 4 years that you were in high school? That's important. I want to know. We need to know this.
In high school over the years and whatnot. And then, I ended up moving. She ended up moving. So we ended up losing contact. And at that time, when we were in high school, Facebook wasn't around. So, we didn't, we didn't know how to, reach out to each other.
Wait a minute. Chance, you're younger than me. Facebook was around. I can specifically remember being on Facebook when I was 18, 19 years old. So yes, it was in fact around when you were in high school. What are you talking about? I think, didn't it come out like in 06 or something? 07, somewhere around that time frame? Yes, it was. Yes, it was, Chance. Yes, it was. You little liar. That's lie number one. Caught you, goblin.
Like and subscribe.
Like I said, back then, Facebook wasn't around.
Yes, it was.
AOL was a thing, but, it is what it is. And then, several years later, we refound each other on Facebook, added each other, became good friends. By that time, she was already... They ended up pregnant, had a kid together, whatever. And when Kira's son Callum was born, Noah was barely there. Ever, throughout the entire fucking pregnancy. He was off doing dumb shit.
How would you know?
So, what happened was, when Callum was born, I was the first one outside of the immediate family that she called.
Oh my God.
And let me tell you, the minute that I laid eyes on Callum, I felt that connection.
Dude, shut up.
That kind of connection that you only feel with a father and son.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
And, something in my heart and in the back of my mind told me, you're going to be that boy's dad one day. And sure as shit, 5 years later, me and Kira are talking and all this other shit. And me and her were like, why are we, hiding being from each other? We've been together before. We've already admitted many times in the past that we wanted to be together, and that we wanted to get married and, spend the rest of our lives together because we knew each other so well, and we were on that level that, it felt right. It felt like it was supposed to be. And so we ended up dating. And we had ended up, this is like back in last October when me and her ended up together. Now, me being the person I am, the reason why I took to Kira and Callum right away wasn't just because me and Kira have history. No, it was literally, that's the biggest reason, yeah. But another reason is because I know what it's like to not have a dad in my life. Not my biological father, but my adoptive dad. I'm the one that helped my mom raise me since I was born. He was in the military and he was never really there, so to speak. Like, he was never really there. Honestly, like, he was there, but he wasn't there. Like, because he was always busy off doing shit. And then him and my mom split because this man hadn't reached out to me in years. And I always swore since I was a kid, since I understood what was going on, you know, when I was old enough to like really grasp what was going on. You know, I knew that I didn't want to be anything like that. I wanted to be the opposite of that. I wanted to be that dad that, you know, would be proud to, you know.
Chance, enough, dude, enough. You said when you first saw that baby, I felt the connection that only a father is. No. Nope. You do not know what that connection is. I will die for my son. If I could stand in front of a bullet, I 1,000D, million D, gajillion D, bajillion D% will. Every parent on the planet that cares about their children feels that same way. You will step in front of whatever or whomever that tries to get to your child. No problem. My life for his, abso-fucking-lutely. Without question. You are far too selfish to understand what that means. You don't know what it's like to love and appreciate someone so much more than yourself that you can't even fathom the thought of not laying down your life for them should they need it. You don't know what that is. You don't know what that means. Should that call ever come, I will answer gladly with a smile on my face. Let's go. If that's what I have to do, I will do it. All my parents out there, even step-parents, it doesn't have to be the biological connection. There have been plenty of step-parents, stepmoms, and stepdads that have come into the picture, taken over, and handled their business. Plenty of beautiful step-parents out there. You don't have to have a biological connection to have a connection. That part is true. But you, Chance, that connection does need to be built. It needs to be grown and fostered and cared for and loved and put time into it and effort. It's not easy. You have to work at it to build that connection. Yes, I love my son. I've loved him since day one. But he's a little person. Like, he has to learn and grow and do things. And when he starts like reaching out with you and you do things back and forth as they grow, you build that bond because of the interaction, the time you spend together doing things, and you teach them how to tie their shoes and how to brush their teeth and how to wash their hair. You teach them everything. And then when we've been struggling to ride a bike every day over and over and over and over and over, and then finally one day you get on it and he just pedals and goes. Greatest fucking day of your life. Greatest day. All my achievements go out the window at that point. At that point, I could care less about my achievements. It's like, holy shit, dude, he can ride a bike now. Amazing. That's what being a loving parent is. That you do not and will not ever understand what that is. What that means. That you don't understand the lengths that a parent will go to for their child. You don't get it. You never will. Stop talking about it.
Spend time with his son or his daughter and want to be around my son or daughter. You know, I always knew that. And that's where that all comes from, because I understand what it's like to not have a dad, because like I said, my dad was never really around. And with Callum, I didn't want him to go without having at least some sort of father figure or some sort of dad in his life. And like I said, me and Kira being who we were, you know, she deemed me Callum's dad. Because, like I said before, I was the first one that she called outside of family. I was the one that she reached out to. Immediately, like that day, like not even that day, like that night. Quite literally, like I was there on FaceTime with her minus like the whole like the baby actually being born thing. Besides like the whole like aside from Callum being born, I was there for the entire fucking pregnancy, dude. Like I was on FaceTime with her the entire.
Do you mean the delivery, Chance? Which, other than the time he was like actually being born, when he got born, when he's being delivered, stupid. So you're telling me this woman stayed on FaceTime with you the entire time? She's in FaceTime. She's on FaceTime in the car, going to the hospital. She's on FaceTime. Hey, baby, I'm about to have this other man's child right now, but I'm here for you. I'm all about you. And then, okay, I'm about to literally, my water's bursting. I'm about to shit myself. I'm going to go into the hospital. Okay, Chancey Poo, I'll see you in a few. And then she goes in there, pops out the kid, and then instantly he's like, hey, look what I did. Chance, come on, dog. Women are not that friendly during that process. Trust me, I know. They can get very strong when they're giving birth. My hand almost got crushed. They say some pretty foul things. My wife isn't normally a potty mouth like I am, but she would make a sailor blush on the day she had our son. But from what I hear, it hurts. I don't know. Anyways, let's get back to this. I'm yapping.
Fucking time. Like, literally the entire time.
Literally the entire time.
So, like, I was there for basically the entire thing. And whatnot. Well, now you kind of have an understanding of that. Let's go back to where we were, which is, like I said, in October, me and her got together. I became Callum's dad.
No, you
and you can even ask,
dude.
CIA, you can ask 045.
045.
I was barely on. Like, I was barely on Facebook because I was spending time with, her, being a dad to Callum, doing what I could on my end of things. And
which was nothing.
Back then, I was working full-time on my channel. I was actually making money.
No,
I was actually doing shit.
No, you weren't. Liar?
Well, what had happened was everything was going good from last October up till about January-ish, February-ish. January, like, the trolls found out and they started doing stupid shit and doing dumb shit like they do. Like, making snarky little comments or like, oh, we're gonna find her and yada yada yada. And me and Kira just kind of ignored it. We did. We basically ignored it. We were like, fuck them. We're happy with where we're at. We're not letting anybody, bother us. It is what it is. And so we just went about our lives, as a couple, as parents. I would help Callum with, his homework as much as I could and whatnot. I'd keep him busy on the weekends. And
are you telling me that? So 5 years you spent fathering a child over a video chat? What? I don't know. That would never work. I mean, I had to change diapers. My wife changed diapers. We had to make bottles. Not to mention the 5-year gap that we had a baby and now I was helping him with homework. What? Dude, shut up. You couldn't even do your own homework, stupid.
And whatnot. We played games together and shit like that.
No, you...
Like, it was fun. I actually enjoyed it.
You say that like you thought you would.
Fast forward to...
Or he says that like, I actually enjoyed it. Like, wow, this doesn't totally suck ass at all. This is kind of cool. I love hanging out with my son. It's like one of the coolest things that I do. It's one of the funnest things that I do. When we go to the park and get to play on the toys, ooh, that's the best, dude. It's so much fun. The monkey bars, I'm getting pretty good at them. I can almost do a backflip. Almost, not really. My son's way better. Whatever. I'll get there. I'll catch him one day on the monkey bars. I'll be able to do that backflip. You guys will see. But I mean, when we go to the park, go for hikes, that's when I have the most fun with him. We have a blast. This summer we have a little mini vacation planned. We're going to be going to either an aquarium or just the beach. I'm not really quite sure. We kind of got it planned, kind of, sort of. But we're gonna it's just fun to do stuff with them, to watch them learn and see things, and when they figure stuff out, or when we drive down the street, my son reads a sign. I'm like, dude, I can barely read that. How do you read it? Well, Dad, it's just this many letters. It's only 6 letters, stupid. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's a lot.
Around the first or second week of February, that's when stuff started getting really bad.
Shut up, Chance. Shut up, dude. Whiny ass crybaby.
You know, the trolls had ramped everything up by a lot, and this is when things took a dark turn, and with what happened, what went down to this day still haunts me.
Oh, does it?
Not like in that way, but it's still a stark reminder of how evil the troll community can be. The troll community had just located Kira after finding her and searching and doing research. They eventually found where she lived, where she was staying at, which was a homeless shelter at the time.
Why was she
and
homeless?
They had spent a month and a half, probably.
Chance, were you... Why was she homeless? I don't get that part. Where does that come into the story? Ooh. Okay, just continue.
You know, working on this, you know, plan to get everything together. What they did was beyond fucked up. They had sent this troll into the place after they confirmed where the homeless shelter was. They sent a troll into that very same...
Chance, did you not say that just a few minutes ago that you were making money on your channel? This thought just occurred to me. If you were making money, why was she homeless? Why didn't you help her out? Why didn't you pay her bills? Why didn't you pay her rent? Why didn't you get her into a place? Chance, what's wrong with you? You're saying that you wanted to be Kira's baby daddy, I guess, and her son's father, and you're making money on a channel. You said it, but she's homeless. She's in a shelter. Okay. What a great husband / father.
Homeless shelter. Now, this dude didn't come off as a troll at first. He did not come off as a troll at first. This dude just seemed like a genuine dude, or whatever. But what threw me off about this guy was something didn't sit right. In the back of my mind, like, I knew that him coming off as, like, a good dude, just, something was like, the fuck. Well, this dude, who is now her boyfriend...
Ew, he just picked a scab.
He showed up to the homeless shelter and claimed to know Kira when he really didn't. This dude even sat down and, you know, we all talked, and he had flat out said, like, oh, like, I know you. We've talked on Discord several times, referring to me. He was like, you know, hey, we've talked before, you know, yada, yada, yada. You know, we talked on Discord, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, I don't even know this dude, but I'm going along with it just to see if I can catch him on his bullshit, right? Because I knew this guy was full of shit, and I just wanted to see what else he would say.
Chance, that's so stupid.
Before I called him on his shit.
I just want to see what else Why? Why do you care? That's the dumb... Every predator that has ever been caught by any of the predator catching channels, they all say the same thing. I want to see what they would say. Are you... You know what? Yeah, you are fucking regarded. Like, I want to see what they would say.
Shit. And I tried to get this... I sat there and I tried to get this dude to tell me what names he went under on Discord. So I can go back and look at the message and either confirm, like, yo, we have talked, what's good? Or, you know, like, hey, this guy's full of shit. I couldn't get him to give me an answer. So, me and
surprise.
Talked, and it was around, like, lunchtime or whatever. I pulled her aside, and I told her, I was like, yo, like, something don't feel right about this guy. Something feels off. Like, I don't trust this guy.
Pulled her aside?
Well, she sat down and talked to him, and come to find out that this guy is supposedly somebody that she knew from her past. But to me, it didn't add up. It did not add up at all.
That's because you can't...
So...
That's because you can't do basic math.
I told her, I was like, hey, why don't you call your aunt real quick and confirm this to see if it really is this dude. Maybe I'm just being fucking paranoid, you know?
Oh, your aunt?
Because at that time I was paranoid because I was getting people sent over here all the time. At one point, police said made a mistake and put me in the back of a cop car looking for somebody else, thinking that something was going on that wasn't going on. So like all that went down and all that shit.
What was going on?
And whatnot. Like, it was just really crazy shit. Flat out.
Tell us.
Crazy stuff.
Tell us.
Well, you know, Kira called her aunt, and her aunt did confirm that, you know, that this dude Dominic, which I personally think her aunt didn't see the face, but they had confirmed that, yes, there was someone named Dominic related to her. And at that point, she was like, all right. Which,
okay.
for me, just something did not sit right. I couldn't put my finger on it. Because I already caught this, you gotta remember, I already caught this dude in a lie. Okay? I already caught this dude in a massive lie lying to me, saying that, oh, we talked before. Like, I've already got this motherfucker caught in the goddamn lie, and he don't even fucking know it. This dude don't even know that I've got him caught up in a fucking lie.
Yeah,
well,
totally.
Fast forward through that entire day, you know, we spent the day talking and whatnot and everything like that. It was me and her and him. We all sat down and talked while spending time with Callum and shit, who is, you know, as you know, Kira's son. Well, fast forward to that night, we all ended up going our separate ways. Well, Dominic and the way they ran the homeless shelter was all the dads and the father figures had to stay out in the front room, like out in the front. And then, you know, the moms and the kids went to the back. Well, Kira went to the back, and me and her dude, you know, did like we do every night. We, you know, plugged our phones in and shit, and sat up on FaceTime. You know, we fell asleep on FaceTime together as, you know, we normally did. Because, you know, I couldn't be there, you know, physically, so we made it work. You know, we stayed up on FaceTime, spent all day together, all night together. You know, like we laid down with each other, fell asleep on FaceTime together as we always did. That was.
Do you have any idea how pathetic this sounds, Chance? You are a straight up butt weenie.
That was our thing. That's what we did. You know, and if it wasn't FaceTime, it was motherfucking Discord and shit. Like, we would video call on Discord sometimes. Like, you know.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, next morning rolls around, just normal everyday routine, you know. Wake up, get Callum ready for school, and while she went out to grab his clothes from the laundry there, because they had a washing machine and everything, and as she's going to grab, you know, Callum's clothes and her clothes from the night before because she accidentally left them in there. Oops. Well, she went to go grab the clothes and whatnot, and I'm there going like I do every morning, spending time with Callum, you know, having fun with them, joking around with them, being, you know, doing typical dad stuff. Doing normal dad shit.
No, Chance, that is not normal dad shit. Normal dad shit involves being there, being present. Make breakfast for your son. Take him to school. Pick him up from school. Play catch with him. Take him to the park. Take him for a hike. Take him to your Muay Thai class. Because he thinks that he wants to go to MMA class, and then he goes with you, and he goes, no, Dad, I don't like it. I don't like that one. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. Because I want to go to multi. I'm talking about my son now. My son wants to go to multi. It's not Muay Thai, it's multi. Get it right. I don't know what Muay Thai is. I've been doing multi. But he gets to go to his first multi class week after next, I believe. Maybe next week, maybe next Thursday. We'll see. But yeah, he gets to go to his first multi-class very soon. See, that Chance, that's being a dad. We've got that coming up, and then we're going to do swimming class or swimming lessons this summer. That's doing dad stuff. You sign them up for things. You take them places. You do stuff with your children. You hold their hand and walk into places with them and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is my son so-and-so, and we're here to do this class today. That's what doing dad stuff is. Being there. When your kids know that they can depend on you, that you're going to be there, that you're going to show up, that you have his back no matter what, that is doing dad stuff, mom stuff, whichever. Sometimes there's only one person or single parent situation. That's doing parent stuff, Chance. It's being there. That's normal parent stuff. Not FaceTiming for 5 years.
doing what a dad should do
A dad
as
should
a
do.
dad, picking on him, having fun, playing games with him the whole 9 yards, waiting for Kira to get back with the clothes. She gets back with the clothes, he gets dressed, I'm there talking to him and talking to her, and I'm just waking up, grabbing coffee, just waking up my damn self. I went down, grabbed some coffee, came back up, yada yada yada. Typical normal day for, myself, typical school day for Callum, just a normal fucking morning. He woke up, he's like, morning, Dad. And he's like, morning, bud. Typical dad, son stuff. Typical father, son shit. Well,
I cannot with you, Chance. Oh my God, this video is frustrating.
there was this dude that had been creeping around the homeless shelter for several weeks.
I can't with the good morning, Dad. My son, when he comes into my bedroom in the mornings, he goes, hi. He doesn't go, good morning, Dad. He goes, I'm tired, Dad.
And it was fucking weird.
You're fucking weird.
Even though I had a bad feeling about him, I still entrusted the Dominic dude that she's with now. I entrusted him to help get her to the bus stop and to help me to keep an eye.
Seriously?
Because I knew that there was a weirdo running around. Several people in the shelter had already confirmed it, that there was somebody weird, there was somebody weird around the homeless shelter, and we're just like, the fuck? So, even though against my better judgment, I told Dominic, like, yo, if the call drops between me and Kira, I want you to make sure that, Cal gets on the bus and she gets back to the shelter safe. He said, all right, no problem. Okay, cool. So, me and Kira sat on FaceTime, as we always did, because she made sure she had, like, one of those little mobile pocket chargers that you can get, like those mobile chargers that you can throw in your pocket. And she had one of those, and her phone was already on, like, 95%. So, like, she threw it in her pocket and had the phone plugged into it just to make sure that it wouldn't die.
At 95%? I don't take my charger with me till my phone's at, like, 19%. Like, once we get under 20, then I'm like, oh, then I panic. But until, I don't... You're so stupid.
So, Callan's bus gets there, and I did like I do every morning when he gets on the bus and whatnot. I told him, hey, hey, I love you. I'll see you after school. Hope you have a good day, buddy. He said, he's like, I will. And then, he said he loves me too. Typical father-son stuff.
Stop saying that.
Well, he gets on the bus to go to school. I told him, hey, I'll see you later when you get home, yada, 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 all that stuff. Well, he gets on the bus to go to school. And Kira and Dominic go to the store real quick to pick up something to drink. I'm like, cool, because the store's like right there. It's not far from the shelter. It's like literally right across the street. And so they go over there. And Kira has me in her pocket. That way she can, grab whatever else. Grab drinks, groceries, whatever. Well, she goes to do that. And around the time that they had got out, I had remembered that morning, or that night before, Kira had wanted me to remind her to do something. What that thing was, I forget. I forget what that thing was. But I had remembered at that point, I was like, oh shit, yo, Kira, like, did you, like, I went to go tell her, like, hey, Kira, you might want to do, said thing. What I was supposed to remind her of. And no sooner than I hear that, I hear Dominic say, hey, come here. Or no, like, hey, Kira, come here. No sooner, and then he says that, the call dropped.
Uh-oh.
And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, that's weird. Maybe she didn't charge the portable charger all the way.
Uh-oh.
Maybe the phone, died, or maybe she accidentally turned it off, whatever. Didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, maybe the phone accidentally died at 95% with the pocket charger on it.
Couple hours go by, I try calling.
Damn, a couple hours she was getting...
At all. Like, I called her, like, at least 4 or 5 times, trying to get a hold of her just to see what was going on. See if she was okay. So I'm sitting there waiting.
Getting cooked.
Waiting 2-3 hours.
She's giving out that hawk
Still
tua.
nothing.
Spit on that thing.
So I end up...
What'd you do, crybaby? What'd you do?
Calling the shelter there.
What'd you do while your girl's getting plowed out by somebody else, giving them that hawk tua? Chance. Yeah. knowing that your heart was probably just getting trampled on during this whole situationship, it warms my heart. Warms my heart.
And I ended up talking with one of the staff members that me and Kira had become really good friends with at the time. And, you know, me and him were sitting there talking. He was asking me how I was doing. I told him I was doing good, but, yo, something's up. And he's like, what's going on, dude? And I explained everything, and he's like, all right, let me see if she's here. Because I asked him, I was like, yo, is she there? Because the call dropped when me and her were on the phone. I don't know if, like, maybe her phone died, if she's out and about, yada, yada, yada. So he's like, I don't know, let me go back in the back, you know, meeting in the room and look. He went back there and looked. She wasn't there.
Where was she?
And I told him, I was like, yo, like, she left with this Dominic guy. Like, when he got back, he was like, what exactly went on? I was like, you remember the guy that she was with this morning? And he was like, yeah, why? I was like, I got a bad feeling about that guy. I don't know what it is, but just, I got a bad feeling. Just something don't sit right.
But you trust him to... Okay.
A lot of weird shit's been said the last few days, and
You trusted him, told him to get the kid on the bus and get Kira back to the shelter safely, back to the homeless shelter safely while you're making money on your YouTube channel. She's living in the shelter. You trust somebody else to do this because you can't for some reason, even though you're making money, you can't. Yeah, totally, Chance. Totally.
Explained everything to him. And
I just realized we're quite a ways into this video. We're 24 minutes into this video. We're about 30-ish minutes into mine. So why don't we go ahead and take a break, take a little ripper, and get our minds right. Let's get them out, let's get them warm. Baby, let's get ripping. You know what it is, what it do, what it was, what it are, what it be. Countdown, 3, 2. If you need to pause the video to get your pin, that's what that little break is for. We're waiting on you. I don't know why you didn't have it in your hand ready to go. I mean, if you're watching one of my videos, these are, you know, they're part of the thing that we do here. So anyway, 1. Let's get it. Let's go. Double tap. I couldn't get the double tap. If you want to come hang out with us on stream though on Friday and Saturday nights though, I do the double tappers. When we get a fairly good size, like a membership donation where people buy a bunch of random memberships, stuff like that, I'll do massive double rippers. I've tried triples. I can't get those. But if you don't check out my live streams, come check them out. Fridays at 7:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Stop by, check it out, talk a little shit, take a few rippers, see what it's about. Okay, let's get back to our video. See where we go from here.
Even he said the same thing I did. This dude sounds fucking weird.
I'll be talking about you, Chance.
And so I asked him, I was like, what do you think I should do next? He's like, dude, like, I can't let him send this, but have you tried, you know, calling the police to see what they can do and whatnot? And I was like, no, like, let me do that real quick. So I did that.
You crybaby.
And I called the police, did a check. They went and looked for her, couldn't find her. I gave them full description, gave them what she looked like, whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Told them exactly what she was wearing, everything. Police couldn't find her. By this point, I am freaking the fuck out. So I go to hop on Facebook and on Discord to message her because we had each other both on Facebook and on Discord. I know, Captain Obvious over here. But, I went to go message her. I found that I was blocked. And I was like, what the fuck?
Ooh.
And by that point, I knew something seriously fucked up was going on.
He just
I knew in the back of my mind, something's going on.
Did you guys see that he just picked a scab and he was like rolling it down here, playing with it? Watch, I'll back it up. See? Watch. Just watch. Just watch.
And by
Right
that
here.
point,
Yep.
I knew something seriously
right there.
fucked up was going on. Like, I knew in the back of my mind, something's going on.
Yeah, you said that already like 3 times.
Something seriously fucked up is going on.
Is something going on? Do you guys think there's something? I bet there's something going on.
And so, you know, I started freaking out. I reached out to CIA. I reached out to everybody that I introduced her to. Asked any of them if they had heard from her. They all said no. I reached out to her mom, who, you know, I was good friends with. Like, me and her mom got along great. Me and her dad, not so much. Like, he was okay, but I kind of tolerated him. Like, he wasn't the greatest father figure, but he was okay, I guess. Well, I reached out to her mom, explained everything. I was like, because by that time, we were engaged. Like, by the time all this went down, we were engaged after 13 years, you know, of being on and off and whatnot.
Engaged from spending 5 years together on video call, from having a baby to a 5-year-old being homeless in the shelter while you're working on YouTube, getting paid, but not helping her, not helping her get into a place. Okay.
So, you know, for me, her mom was, you know, my mom as well, in a sense, you know.
Oh, she better watch out.
My mom, just saying, like, you know, she was my mother.
She better watch out. We all know what you like to do to your mom.
So I asked her, I was like, hey, Mom, have you seen Kira all day? And she's like, no, why? And I was like, because some weird shit went down. And I explained everything. And they tried looking for her and couldn't find her. Tried reaching out and got no response for weeks. And this went on for weeks, mind you. This went on for several fucking weeks, mind you. Well, around March, I found out what happened. That's when I would get my answer. I found out that I one day just, you know, I kind of pushed it into the back of my mind, even though I was worried throughout that entire time span of trying to look for her. I moved on with my life to a certain extent. I didn't fully move on from her because I was still trying to find her. I wanted to make sure she was okay. And at this point, seeing her block me, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Did something happen? I knew something with that Dominic guy had to be up. Like, I knew something was up. Like, something in the pit of my gut told me, like, yo, something's fucking wrong. So I tried to look for her as much as I could, day in and day out, day in, day out. You know, for that entire, you know, time span. I tried to look for her. I had reached out to friends, you know, old coworkers who, you know, I still had on my Facebook and that she had on her Facebook that was still good friends with her. Like, I reached out to family members of hers. I hadn't heard from her in years. Like, that's how worried I got. You know, because I was trying to find her and make sure she's okay. And nobody, you know, heard from her at all whatsoever. Like, nobody fucking heard from her whatsoever. And it kind of was like, what the fuck? So, I find her new Facebook around, like, I'd say like the second week of March, I found her Facebook. And I seen that she put that she was in a relationship with this Dominic guy. And I'm like,
ooh,
what the fuck? Did he do that or did she do that? So I went to reach out. You know, I went to reach out to him and be like, hey, is Kira there? You know, because I wanted to confront her and ask what had happened. You know, like, what went on? Like, is everything okay? Why are you putting that you're in a relationship with this guy? What the fuck is up? Well,
are you serious?
Dominic did the one thing that completely just destroyed me as a person.
What's that?
Like, this shattered me to my fucking core.
What? What'd he do?
This really fucking...
What'd he do?
Destroyed the fuck out of me.
What'd he do?
Like, more than any other bad shit that's ever happened. You know, more than me losing my older brother to cancer, more than me losing, you know, 2 of my best friends to, you know, who have since, you know, passed away to various, you know, things. Like, this really hit so deep that I was not the same for over a month and a half.
What'd he do?
Like, I was a total fucking...
What'd he do?
Okay. Let's just say that. I was not okay. Well, Dominic answers the phone, puts it on speaker, sets it down, and makes me listen to him on call. And let me tell you, when that happened...
And you did it? You didn't hang up?
My stomach, my heart sank. My stomach I got fucking sick. Like, I was totally fucking devastated.
Good.
Because here was this woman that I had, you know, essentially grew up with and had known since fucking high school.
And she just clapping cheeks with some random dude that that you thought you could trust to keep her safe in the homeless shelter while you're, again, making money on YouTube. Okay.
Who I had just gotten engaged to a month prior. After 13 years of being on and off, we had just gotten engaged. Like, we had just picked out our fucking...
And now she's giving him that gawk hawk to it.
Like, you know, we just got done doing all that. Like, I just, you know, we had just picked out our rings. I helped her pick it out. We literally picked out her wedding dress.
How are we going to afford it?
All the stuff for the wedding. We already had it planned out. We had already, you know, had everything going.
How are we going to pay for it, dog?
We were working on getting me up there. And around that time, you know, when we were planning everything out, I was on the Raxx Nation channel. And that channel was popping off. It was doing good. I was making money. You know, I was doing good. And then, you know,
don't lie to us.
Her made the conscious decision for me to just, you know, get rid of that channel, and then I can restart when I get up there. That way it's more of a fresh restart. You know, away from the trolls.
Okay, whatever.
Me and her and Cal can do, you know, a family vlog channel. We can all make money, have fun, upload different kinds of content, you know, the whole 9 yards. That was our plan, was for me to move up there. And
dog, this is one of the most elaborate, like, in-depth fantasies I've heard from him. Like we're 33 minutes into this. That's crazy.
I would still continue my career as, you know, doing music and whatnot. And I would also help, you know, run the channel. I would do vlogs with Kira and Cal. Like, we had this whole plan in action. We were literally working on getting the money to get me up there to where she was.
But you were making money on YouTube. Chance, did you forget? You were making money on YouTube. You told us that. Why didn't you use that money?
And, like, as soon as that happened, my stomach sank.
Did it?
I hung up. I called CIA and Old 45 both. Literally right away, like back to back of each other. As well as my best friend Matt. Like, I had called all three of them.
Who's Matt, dude? This is a brand new character to the story. Who's Matt? Is Matt, like... whatever.
Back to back. And then I was like, you know what, just let me get all three of y'all in a group call. So I did. I got all three of them in a group call because I was like, yo, I got something I need to talk to y'all about. This can't wait. Something's wrong. Well, I told all three of them what happened. They were just as shocked as I was.
Oh, so they're stupid too.
I did not know about this until the CIA told me.
I hate when he chokes on his spit like that.
It turned out that William Gloryhole and them had planted Dominic in Kira's life. After studying her, after researching her, you know, after doing all this studying on her like they did with me.
Dog.
They had planted him in there. And what CIA found next, it killed me. It fucking destroyed me because, unfortunately, I'm not able to do anything about it anymore. Which fucking sucks.
You never were. You never could do anything about it.
William Gloryhole and them had been... like, Dominic had gotten Kira to a motel outside, you know, somewhere in, like, New Jersey or some shit.
Classy
around
lady.
that time that I had found everything out.
That's a classy broad right there.
Which is where that video was recorded at, that you saw. William was paying Dominic to secretly make of Kira. And Kira didn't know it. Kira did not fucking know it. Well, Kira had no idea that Dominic was doing this.
How?
And that's why in that post that, you know, you saw that CIA sent you about from the... and all that shit, that's what was going on. William Gloryhole was having Dominic, her now boyfriend or whatever, I don't fucking know if they're engaged or not, I don't fucking know, quite frankly, I don't care.
Oh, you do. But
she was having
you care.
Dominic secretly record and send them to him, and was turning around and selling them for profit.
What else would you sell them
I
for?
wanted to confirm this with
Death?
CIA, so I had CIA go in and I had them do some digging.
Why didn't you do the
Turned
digging?
out that actually was what was going on. They had even gotten a couple, private videos of me and Kira together. Which was like, what the fuck? Those were private. How the fuck did you get those?
What?
Whether they did anything with those ones, I don't know. I genuinely do not know.
They don't exist, Chance. Shut up.
But that's where the whole thing of William Sell mentioning Kira in those posts, that's where that all comes from. Like, that's where all that comes from. And I had tried getting a hold of her mom. I reached out to her mom, tried to explain, like, yo, Kira's in serious fucking trouble right now. Something's wrong.
Oh my god, dude. You called her mom about that? Damn, that's crazy, yo.
Family members, old friends, and for some reason, just nobody was answering.
Wow.
And then, once all that happened, I knew I had to let go of her.
Yeah, totally.
Because I later found out, like I said, I found out about the sex tape shit. And then a few months later. Well, actually, it was like around April of last year, or of this year,
April of last year, this year.
That I had seen a video that Dominic and her had posted from their motel room, which I'm assuming is the one that you saw, which was completely bullshit. It was completely false.
They made it from the motel.
I had never once threatened that little boy's life in my goddamn life, at all. Yes, whatsoever.
I bet he did. I would say he probably did.
I stepped up to be a dad to that kid.
No, you didn't.
I stepped up. I was that father figure.
You didn't step up.
I was dad to him. To Callum, I was dad.
No, you weren't.
That's what he had always known me as since he was born. And to him, that's what I was. I was dad.
Nope.
To him, that was me. He saw my face, daddy.
Nope.
Like, when all that happened, when all that went down, all I could do for the next month and a half or so was just bawl my eyes out. Sick to my stomach, barely able to eat anything.
Love it.
Was just completely fucking devastated.
Love it.
Because me and Kira had so much history together.
And she just gave it up like that. To the first dude that said, hey, Kira, come here.
So much fucking history.
Shows how important you were to her.
And
ooh, burn.
The fact that all that could happen because William Glory Hole did not want me to be happy.
None of us want you happy.
It devastated me.
Good.
Like, it truly fucking devastated me.
Good.
And I'd be lying if I said that there weren't times where I still don't think about her. And I'd be lying if I said there weren't times that I don't miss, Callum. Where I don't miss, spending time with Kira and living a normal life. I miss it very much. And the other day, when everything started going right for me, I started getting the label going and all that shit. I wanted somebody to share that proud victory with. I did. Like, I wanted somebody to be able to celebrate that feat with. Like, not just like, my friends who already knew about it. But I mean, like, that
don't have friends.
Someone that I could be with. That could be my better half. To share that moment with them.
You guys all know Mrs. Cholo is my gooder half. She's definitely my smarter half. Our relationship wasn't built on 5 years of video chats and her being pregnant with some other dude's baby when I'm like, hey baby, how are you doing? Hey gorgeous. But I mean, to be fair, our relationship wasn't built on 5 years of video chats. So, there's actual connection and relationship and bonding. And we see each other in real life. We can even hold hands. I know. Crazy dude. I know. It's crazy that he thinks that this shit sounds so normal. He's just like, oh yeah, I just video chat like right after she gave birth. It was totally cool. We just video chat and we video chat till he was 5 and I was making money on YouTube and she's homeless. And then this dude named Dom just like fucking reeled her, got that Gok Hawk 2000 and Yeah, it turns out it was William. I mean, who'd have thunk it? I don't know, Chance. Who'd have thunk it? I don't know, Chance. Who'd have thunk it?
To be like, hey, this is what I'm doing with my life.
This is what I'm doing with my life.
And that's where that came from that group post. And trust me, there are times where there are still times to this day where I still want to reach out to, you know, to try to talk to Kira, but I can't. Because that Dominic dude, who I ended up finding out is a fucking drug addict and a fucking troll,
Nuh-uh.
you know, is monitoring her phone pretty much 24/7. And it fucking kills me.
Are you Dog, how do you not know yet?
It fucking kills me to see that happening. And this is what I had, you know, this is part of what me and CIA brought up to you when me and you had first met, and I was exposing William, and I showed those screenshots of, you know, of him selling them and boasting about it on YouTube. That's what that was from. That's what that screenshot was from that. And let me tell you, it was bad enough when CIA confirmed it in Discord. That was bad enough.
Were you just picking another scab? Look at that, dude. Look at that. Jesus Christ. Let's grab that thumbnail too. That might be a good one. All right. Okay.
He confirmed it in Discord.
Yep,
that was bad enough.
And now he's inspecting it. Oh, two-hand inspection. Two-hand. Oh, going back for a
but to have
the layup,
you know, the phone on speaker, to hear the woman that you love by another guy where you know you should be, that fucking destroyed me.
You want to tag in?
Like,
Ew.
It tore me the fuck apart.
Ew, no.
Like, you can ask CIA for over a month and a half, almost 2 months at that point, that I was starting to get over it. Like, you can tell, like, I was not myself. I was depressed. I was sleeping all day. I didn't understand what happened or why it happened. Like, I understood what happened, but I didn't understand the why. I didn't understand why it happened and what went down.
Really?
I didn't understand any of it.
Really, dude? How? How do you know?
Like, it was to the point to where...
Really didn't get
when
that?
me and Kira were together, it was to the point to where I was helping her to try to get on disability. Because she had been mocked so many times, and, you know, because she was born with one arm. She was born with one arm. She
I didn't
couldn't
know
help
this.
it. Always being made fun of throughout since I had known her. And jobs were discriminating against her because of her one arm.
Were they hand jobs? I know, guys. I'm sorry. I know that was dumb. I know.
You know, and they were thinking like, oh, like, she's only got one arm. There's no way she'd be able to do it. When clearly I have watched this chick work at fucking McDonald's multiple times. Like, I've seen her work McDonald's counters multiple times. Like, and the reason I haven't seen this is because there'd be times when...
Wait a minute. So you watched your girlfriend with one arm work at McDonald's and you still won't get a job? Oh, but wait, you were making money on YouTube, right?
You know, back when Facebook first became a thing and they had introduced FaceTime and all that shit.
I really didn't know if this video was going to be worth the juice, or worth the squeeze, but this was a good one. It's a long one. I thought we were going to do this in 2 pieces, but let's keep on trucking, baby. We only got 15 minutes to run. Let's run it.
That was around the time me and her had first linked back up. And at that time, she was working at McDonald's or wherever it was at.
Wherever.
And she'd be on break, and she would still be working behind the fucking counter, and then coming back, and then going back to work, and then coming back on break. I'm like, and I'm sitting there in my mind, woman, sit the fuck down. Take a break. So, I mean, I knew what she was capable of because I've witnessed it multiple times.
What do you guys think it's like to just come on the internet and make videos of you just literally making shit up, just making things up, making up stories, and then just being like, yeah, this is my life. Yeah. Like, if I told you guys I robbed a bank and then I jumped off of a building and like somehow landed on an airplane and I like took over like they do in action movies and like flew away, and turns out the person flying the plane was Mrs. Cholo, and we have like a billion gajillion dollars in the back of the plane. My son's just chilling with us. I guess he's going for a ride, playing with his tablet in the backseat, just like, no, Mom, shut up, just keep flying, whatever, I'm busy. If I was just like, yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. You guys would be like, oh, that's a cool story, but it's a story, clearly. Yeah. Anyways, guys, this is going to be a quick little pause. What I'm going to do here is I got to go pick up my son from school. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and wait for an hour while I go do this, but, yeah, I got to go get him, and then I'll be back and we'll wrap this video on up. We'll get these last 15 minutes, racked and ran and get them all done. I'll see you guys in this quick. And we are back. I told you guys it'd be quick. It was just like bang. Easy peasy. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up this video. We got like 15-ish minutes left, so let's kill it.
And after, about 2 or 3 months of her trying to get a job, me and her finally sat down and decided we're like, hey, since discriminated against, why don't we just try to get you back on, Social Security? And me and her agreed that was the best move. And so that's what we were doing at the time when everything went down. So, yeah. Now you understand how everything happened. And it's because of William that it's hard for me to be with anybody. Because of people like William and N Word Boi and all these people, that's why it's hard for me to be with anybody. Because they don't want to see me happy. Because people like William either scare them away with lies and all this other shit, or they threaten them. And they try to find out information about them and use that information to scare them. It fucking kills me.
Good.
So me and Kira, well, that's one thing that we really connected on right away when we first met back in high school. And the way we met back in high school is interesting. We were actually both part of a mutual Facebook group.
It was 100% virtual, isn't it?
Music group, ICP, or Insane Clown Posse, aka ICP.
The juggling community?
We were part of that group for the underground music group, ICP, or Insane Clown Posse, aka ICP.
The jugglers? That's the juggling guys. I don't know what the Clown Posse music has to do with juggling, but those dudes love juggling. I don't know. I guess they're good jugglers. I don't know. They don't like chants.
We were part of that group for many, many months.
You're not a
And then me and her would talk all the time, back and forth, and comment back and forth on different posts and shit. And then we finally just were like, fuck it, let's just fucking at each other. Fuck it. So we did. And then, me and her got to talking. And around that time was when FaceTime had just got introduced.
Dude.
So me and her would FaceTime all the time. Every day after school, every day before school, like we would always call each other, just like we did when we were, together. Like that's how we met. But
so you've never...
Now you understand why it's so hard for me to be with anybody. I want to. Like, I want to be able to be with that person that says, hey, fuck these trolls. But like I said, that's hard.
This is so stupid.
And that's why, to this day, I'm still fucking single as fuck. It's not that I haven't been trying. Not that I haven't been looking, because I have.
Yeah.
But I've also been working on myself at the same time.
You hear that, ladies? Chance is single and looking.
time.
Ew.
I've also been, working on not responding to the trolls, not giving them what they want.
Well, that's not working.
Not doing what they want, even though it's hard. It is hard. And especially when they dig into your personal life, it becomes very, very difficult.
Yeah.
To, not respond.
Good. I hope it's ruining your life. Truly. From the bottom of my heart.
That's why to this day I'm still single as fuck.
Good, stay single.
Because of people like William and N Word Boi. Because they don't know how to leave well enough alone.
Shouts out to those dudes. Appreciate the work that those fellas put in.
They don't want to see me happy.
Nobody wants to see you happy.
And I know that William might put on this front on your channel. Like, I know that he might put on this, oh, I'm a good guy. No, he's not. He's not a good dude. And him selling those just shows that.
Whether he's a good dude or not, that's besides the point. I've said this in so many videos, you, Chance, get erections over children. Little girls. Little girls get your motor running. So I don't care what William's done or not done. If whatever he's... So I don't really care what William's done or not done in regards to pissing you off or ruining your day or stealing your songs or whatever Wentz Chilkins. I don't care, Chance. None of that matters. It just doesn't. I don't care. But you, the things that you do, those I care about. Those are important. Those are the reasons why we're all here watching, laughing, and spitting at you, watching your life go down the toilet. You don't get to do the things that you do and just live a normal, regular existence. No.
Now, would I like to get back together again with Kira?
I don't care if you would or not.
God knows I would. But unfortunately, that's not the reality that was meant for me.
God hides his face when you pray.
Was it hard for me to move on and let go of Kira? 1,000% it was.
Especially after you heard another dude railing her out.
There weren't days where I still don't think about her and wonder how her and Callum are doing, or what actually went down that night, and what that went down that day. That I bet I know what went down that night. I bet I know. That she had ghosted me.
She was getting
like when I say she ghosted me, I mean, she blocked me on everything: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, you name it. Even blocked my fucking number.
Good.
Like she had straight out ghosted me.
Good.
And Dominic, make that video saying I threatened Colin's life. That boiled my blood something fierce. Because I had nothing but love for Callum.
Shut up.
I had nothing but the utmost love and respect for Callum, for Kira. Not just as, a mother, not just as, somebody that I grew up with, not just as my fiance at that time when we were together, but as my life partner.
My life partner? Shut up, dude. Shut up.
I want to tell you, when I saw Kira's face in that video, I saw someone who was scared.
I see someone who's scared.
I saw someone who had a look on their face that I had not seen in years.
Spit it out.
And trust me, that video still pisses me off to this very day. That shit still, to this day, pisses me the fuck off.
Oh, does it?
But is there anything I can do about it now?
Nope.
Unfortunately, no.
Never could. Never could, Chance. Never could. You have to be a man to be able to do stuff.
So what did I do about it?
You whined and cried to the internet.
At the beginning of last month, I basically forced myself to move on.
At the beginning of last month, I forced myself to move on.
Told myself that it was her choice.
Her choice.
Told myself all this stuff.
All this stuff.
And, eventually it worked. Eventually I did move on.
Eventually it worked, you did move on. Yeah.
But, now I'm at that point to where, I just want to be happy again,
Happy again. Yeah.
I just want to be able to share my life with that special someone, to be happy.
Be happy.
To, to live my fucking life. Doing what I love as a career.
Live his effing life.
Making content.
Doing what he loves as a career, making content.
Doing music. Living my fucking life.
Living his effing life.
Doing my fucking job.
Trying to get doing what? Doing his fucking job, trying to get his very first paycheck ever. That's embarrassing, Chance. You're closing in on 40. You're closer to 40 than you are 30. You've never had a real, honest W-2 paycheck a day in your life. Embarrassing.
And being able to come at the end of the day, you know, figuratively, you know, coming home at the end of the day, and spend time with that person.
Spend time with
you know,
that
and
person.
for that person to ask you like, hey, how was your day at work? Or
look at your
you know,
hair,
hey,
dog.
how'd everything go? It went good. And I want to be able to do the same thing for them. Like, hey, how was your day? Like, how'd work go? You know, how'd everything go? And
said how'd it go 3
I got
times.
my hands on the label that I had worked my ass off, that women them are trying to take, which I am fighting them tooth and nail on. During that time when I first got that shit up and going, like CIA said, you know, I wish I had that special somebody that, you know, is meant for me.
A special somebody.
That
Special.
I'm supposed to be with, that I could have shared that victory with. Because for me, it wasn't about like, oh, look at me, I'm a badass motherfucker. When I started that label, it was never about that.
Because you're not that.
It was never about, oh, look at me, I'm a badass motherfucker.
Because you're
I went
not.
up the goddamn trolls, look at me, I'm a fucking beast. No. It was never about that for me.
Because you're not that.
It was about a small fucking dude who came from a family of hard workers, who just happened to get a helping hand from a longtime friend,
What?
who was finally able to make my fucking dreams a reality of being able to own my own independent label.
What lunacy is this now, Chance? My gosh. Just more lies. Just more lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies. Get it? Guys, let's do this one more time for all those lies on top of lies. Let's get it out. Let's get it warm. Baby, let's get ripping one last time for this super long video. This might be one of my longest Cyraxx videos to date. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've only got a couple minutes left. Let's get it. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. You should have already had it ready. Yes, sir. Let's kill this video.
Being able to work alongside 2 of my best friends. Being able to release my music that legitimately fans actually wanted to hear. And do still want to hear. That's what all that was about for me. As far as the label goes, that's what that was all about for me. It wasn't about, haha, fuck you, look at me, I'm a badass motherfucker because I have my own label. No. It was simply about a small dude from a small fucking town finally fucking achieving everything I had worked so hard for.
You haven't worked hard for anything.
Half of over 10 years.
You've never worked hard a day in your life.
And that's why it pisses me off what William and them do. Because they do all this vile shit and they don't see any repercussions from it. They do not see any repercussions for their actions.
They're not doing anything
And
wrong.
it not only pisses me off, it pisses a lot of people off.
No, it doesn't.
I found out last night that William and them are not liked by a lot of people. They are hated.
By
and
who?
understandably so.
You know what? If anybody out there is hating someone that's being mean to a pedophile, fuck out of here. We don't know you. We don't want to know you. Big stupid.
And believe me, I want to stop these guys.
Dude, you whine
I want to
and
stop them
cry.
from interjecting and interfering in my life. I do. I want to stop William, Marty, and N Word Boi as much as I wish I could. I'm only one person. What am I going to do?
You whine and cry so much.
I'm only one guy.
No, you're not. You're not one guy. You're a goblin. Fall asleep? You pass out on us? What the fuck? He's
But
burping.
yeah, now you understand why I'm single.
Now you understand why I'm single.
Because what William and them did. And I already know William's going to be like... You saw the screenshots. We already showed it to you. Screenshots. There's no denying it. There's not. Like, these people are evil. They are very fucking vile. They're very fucking disturbed.
You get aroused at the thought of children. Nothing beats that, dude. That's like the worst of the worst. Sexual attraction to children, animal abuse, elder abuse, putting your hands on women. That makes you garbage. And you do all those things, Chance. You are garbage. You are garbage, Chance.
And honestly, I wish they would just leave me the fuck alone.
No.
I do. I wish to God they would leave me the fuck alone.
Funny you say that, Chance.
Because it was bad enough when they destroyed my PC and my Xbox, which keeps me from making the actual content, the good content that I was making.
Hell
it
yeah.
keeps me from doing that level of content where I was doing very well.
Is that why all your videos lately are strictly vertical form? Hate this
That's
style.
bad enough.
Vertical on YouTube.
But for them
so
to interject into my real life,
into your real life,
and ruin a relationship, all because they don't want to see me happy and they want to see me suffer.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Fucking destroys me.
Good. Glad it does.
But
you deserve it.
I want to be happy again. I want to have that special somebody again.
No. Too bad. No.
But until that person either walks into my life, or I find them, or something happens, I'm gonna be over here being single, which fucking sucks.
Be single. We don't care. Nobody cares, Chance. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Anyway,
Nobody cares. Nobody
I
cares.
hope that you enjoyed this video. If I don't hop on, it's literally because he's been trying to catch up on all the sleep that I've missed out on.
All
these
sleep?
years of battling with William and Marty and N Word Boi and just dealing with troll shit.
Jesus
my body's
Christ,
like just now catching up and shit, which sucks.
Are you serious with this?
So if I don't show up, you have this video that you can look back on.
This is pure excuses, dog. Oh my God.
But, with that being said, Katie, I hope you have a good stream, or have had a good stream so far. And yeah, I will see you whenever I see you, Katie. I hope you have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're at. Not sure where you're at, so yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. And I'll see you later. Peace.
This was awful, dude. This was just the biggest whiny, crybaby ass line of excuses and just garbage, dude. That was, oh my God. That was an hour and 58 seconds of that, plus what I added to it. Sheesh. I don't know how long this video is going to end up being by the time I cut it all up and get it exported and all that good business. But man, guys, we did it. Top to bottom, left to right, front to back, inside and out. 150 gajillion billion% complete though. We are done. We finished. We're at the end of this video, and you guys know what that means to all my members out there. Thank you, Vitches. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. Without you guys, the lights here at Looked Up Studios would most certainly be shut off. Also, a couple quick shout outs. Make sure you stop off at Her 600 Pound Life and see Mrs. Cholo's thoughts and opinions on the absolute worst, Amber Reed. After you do that, go stop off at The Real Chance Wilkins' channel. Show him some love, give him a like and subscribe. Once you hit his channel, go check out Steve from Wormhaven or Steve's Creepy Van. Either way, show them both some love, likes, and subscribes, and let's get this video wrapped up. I know, guys, we did it. This was a long one. That was testing. That was hard to do. That's why I say I'm so glad that you guys are here to do this with me, because I can't do this alone. This was a big ask, but teamwork makes the dream work, baby. This is how we do it around here. If you are new here, thank you for checking out the channel and this video. I do appreciate you. If you are one of my OGs, it's very well known that I love and appreciate each and every single one of you Vitches out there. And real quick before I go, I know, dude, I know. Okay, I know. The whole spiel, shameless self-plug, text on screen. Hey guys, don't forget to get loked up with my channel memberships. With text on the screen. Yeah, dude, I know. Guy, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in the next video.